The cameras stopped clicking, and 200 reporters waited to see what River Phoenix and Johnny Depp would do next. Los Angeles, 1990. The Dorothy Chandler Pavilion. Red carpet stretching like a crimson river from the street to the golden doors of Hollywood's most sacred temple. Velvet ropes hold back screaming fans, their voices creating a wall of sound that drowns out traffic from downtown Los Angeles. Klieg lights slice through the evening sky, announcing to the world that something important is happening here. The air crackles with flashbulbs, expensive perfume, and the particular electricity of fame concentrated into a single block. River Phoenix, 20 years old, adjusts his black bow tie one final time as he steps from the limousine onto the red carpet. The tuxedo fits him perfectly. Simple, elegant, no flash or ostentation, just clean lines that complement his natural grace. His blonde hair catches the camera lights, longer now, more sophisticated than his teenage years. Beside him, Johnny Depp emerges from the same car, 27, wearing a classic black tuxedo with subtle rebellion in the details, slightly loosened tie, hair falling across his forehead with calculated carelessness. Both actors carry themselves with the confidence of young men who've survived their first taste of fame and emerged stronger. This is the Golden Globe Awards ceremony, and both are nominated. River for his devastating performance in My Own Private Idaho, Johnny for his dramatic turn in Edward Scissorhands. Two actors making the transition from teen heartthrobs to serious performers, proving that depth can coexist with popularity, that talent doesn't diminish with youth. The red carpet stretches ahead like a gauntlet, 200 yards of photographers, entertainment reporters, television crews from every major network. Each step brings a new barrage of questions, new requests for poses, new attempts to capture the perfect shot for tomorrow's headlines. River and Johnny walk side by side, comfortable in their friendship, supporting each other through the orchestrated chaos of Hollywood's biggest night. "River! Johnny! Over here!" The voices blend into white noise, but both actors navigate the attention with practiced ease. They've learned the rules of this game. Smile genuinely, answer thoughtfully, never let the mask slip, never give the tabloids ammunition for manufactured controversy. Halfway down the carpet, they pause at the main interview area, where major entertainment outlets conduct longer segments. This is where the real work happens, where careers can be enhanced or damaged with a single unfortunate quote. The backdrop behind them displays the Golden Globe logo, repeated in gold lettering, creating the perfect frame for television interviews. Linda Chen from Entertainment Tonight steps forward first, her microphone extended, camera crew positioned for optimal lighting. She's covered Hollywood for 15 years, knows how to extract compelling sound bites while maintaining the friendly rapport that keeps celebrities returning for future interviews. River, Johnny, you both look fantastic tonight. How does it feel to be nominated in the same year, both transitioning from your earlier work into more dramatic roles? River responds first, his voice carrying the thoughtful tone that's become his trademark. It feels like validation, honestly, not just for us, but for the idea that actors can grow, can surprise audiences, can refuse to be limited by other people's expectations. Johnny nods, adding, "We've been friends through this whole journey. Having someone who understands the pressure, understands the desire to do more challenging work, That's been invaluable. Linda smiles, pleased with their articulate responses, but the next question comes from a different direction. Richard Stone from Celebrity Weekly pushes his way to the front of the press pack, his photographer already snapping pictures without permission. Stone represents the tabloid side of entertainment journalism, where sensationalism trumps substance, where every story needs conflict to generate sales. Stone doesn't wait for invitation or introduction. His voice cuts through the ambient noise with practiced aggression. "River! Johnny! Let's be honest here. You're both just teen heartthrobs trying to pretend you're serious actors now. Isn't this whole dramatic turn just a publicity stunt to shed your pretty boy images?" The question lands like a slap. The surrounding reporters go quiet, sensing blood in the water. Camera flashes intensify, capturing every micro-expression on both actors' faces. This is the moment tabloid journalism lives for. The potential breakdown, the angry outburst, the career-damaging quote taken out of context. River and Johnny exchange a glance, 6 seconds of silent communication passing between them. They've discussed this exact scenario during private conversations about media strategy, the assumption that their early success invalidates their artistic growth, the implication that popularity somehow disqualifies them from serious consideration. Stone continues, emboldened by their silence. "Come on, guys. Edward Scissorhands, My Own Private Idaho. These are just more expensive teen movies with art house pretensions. You're still trading on your looks, still appealing to the same teenage audience that made you famous. When are you going to admit that this whole serious actor thing is just smart career management?" 6 seconds pass. The red carpet feels frozen in time. 200 reporters hold their breath, cameras poised to capture whatever happens next. This is the kind of moment that defines careers, how young stars handle public humiliation, whether they crack under pressure or rise above it. Then River Phoenix steps forward slightly, his movement so subtle that only the front row of photographers notices. Johnny mirrors him immediately, both actors presenting a united front without planning or rehearsal. River's voice, when he speaks, is quiet enough that reporters strain to hear, but every word carries absolute conviction. "Mr. Stone, I think you're confusing commercial success with artistic limitation. And you're making the assumption that appealing to young audiences somehow disqualifies work from being meaningful or challenging." Stone opens his mouth to interrupt, but River continues, his tone remaining respectful but gaining strength. "My Own Private Idaho deals with themes of identity, sexuality, class differences, and the search for belonging. These aren't simple topics just because some of the audience happens to be young. Edward Scissorhands explores isolation, acceptance, the fear of being different. Again, not simple themes requiring simple performances." Johnny steps forward, supporting River's point with his own perspective. "The idea that popularity equals artistic compromise is something older generations tell themselves to feel superior, as if struggle and obscurity somehow equal authenticity. We're not apologizing for being successful, and we're not apologizing for wanting to grow as artists." River looks directly at Stone, his green eyes holding steady contact. "You call us teen heartthrobs like it's an insult, but we connected with young audiences because we treated their emotions seriously, because we didn't condescend to them or assume their feelings were less valid than adult feelings." The gathering crowd of reporters leans in, realizing they're witnessing something more significant than a typical red carpet soundbite. Johnny continues the thought seamlessly. Now we're exploring more complex roles, because that's what artistic growth looks like. But we're not rejecting our past work or pretending it didn't matter. Stand By Me, 21 Jump Street. Those projects had value. They connected with people. They told stories that mattered to their audiences. River's confidence grows with each word. What we're rejecting is the idea that actors have to choose between popularity and artistry, that you can either be taken seriously or be liked, but never both. That's a false choice created by people who need categories to understand the world. Stone, clearly not expecting this level of articulation, tries to regain control. But surely you understand the criticism that you're just pretty faces without real substance. We understand it, Johnny interrupts, his voice carrying an edge of steel beneath the politeness. We just don't accept it as valid criticism. Judge the work, not the resume. Judge the performances, not the marketing campaigns. Judge what we bring to these characters, not what magazines write about us. River adds, real substance doesn't require ugliness or suffering or commercial failure to prove itself. Real substance comes from honesty, commitment, and the courage to grow beyond what people expect from you. The silence that follows is electric. 200 reporters recognize they've just witnessed something rare in Hollywood. Young stars refusing to be diminished by cynical journalism, defending not just themselves, but the value of their entire generation's work. Linda Chen breaks the moment first, her professional instincts recognizing great television when she sees it. That's actually a very sophisticated perspective on the industry and artistic development. Other reporters nod, some looking embarrassed by Stone's aggressive approach. The mood on the red carpet shifts from predatory to respectful, recognizing that these young men possess the intelligence and maturity their critics claim they lack. Stone, realizing he's lost control of the narrative, tries one last attack. Easy words on a red carpet, but can you actually deliver performances that justify all this high-minded talk about artistic growth? River and Johnny exchange another glance, this one filled with quiet confidence. Watch the films, River says simply. Judge for yourself, Johnny adds with a slight smile. And maybe question why you need us to fail to make your story work. The rest of the red carpet experience transforms. Instead of defending themselves against accusations of superficiality, River and Johnny find themselves in substantive conversations about their craft, their choices, their understanding of character development. Reporters ask thoughtful questions about their transition from television and teen films to more complex material. Inside the ceremony, both lose their categories to older, more established actors. But their red carpet moment becomes the most talked about interview of the night. Entertainment Tonight runs the full segment. Variety publishes an editorial about ageism in Hollywood criticism. The Los Angeles Times entertainment section features a piece about the new generation of young actors refusing to accept artificial limitations. Weeks later, casting directors reference the interview in meetings, not as evidence of troublemaking or difficult personalities, but as proof of intelligence, articulation, and the kind of media savvy that makes actors valuable beyond their on-screen work. Stone's editor kills the hatchet piece he'd planned to write, recognizing that his questions made him look foolish rather than making River and Johnny look naive. The attempted takedown becomes validation instead. Years later, after River's death, Johnny remembers that red carpet moment as pivotal in both their careers, not because of the nominations or the ceremony, but because of the stand they took together against the assumption that youth and success automatically equal superficiality. River taught me something that night, Johnny tells interviewers decades later. That you don't prove your depth by accepting other people's shallow judgments. You prove it by refusing to be reduced to their limited understanding of what you can do. The interview becomes part of both actors' legends. River goes on to earn an Oscar nomination the following year. Johnny builds one of the most respected and varied careers in modern cinema. Entertainment journalists still study the clip in media courses, not as an example of celebrity meltdown, but as a masterclass in handling hostile interviews with grace and intelligence. 6 Seconds on a Red Carpet in 1990. One moment when two young actors refused to be diminished by cynical assumptions. One choice that showed the entire entertainment industry what real maturity looks like when it refuses to apologize for success or accept artificial limitations on growth. The night that changed how Hollywood thinks about the relationship between popularity and artistic credibility. Not because they chose one over the other, but because they proved the choice itself was false